Of course, we want to thank everybody who continues to listen to us, maybe on Spotify or iTunes, those who are old school and still enjoy the podcast audibly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, we here on almost all of our podcasts, at least the Low Blow and Table Talk, we try to get more visual. And this show is going to be a very visual show. I have a lot of somethings to flash on the screen, and none of it includes my junk.
Well, first of all, great. I mean, yes. Visual, I think, is the medium that everyone's kind of moving to.
Yeah.
Even thank you for continuing to watch, because we're ugly.
What's up, Jason?
You flashing stuff on screen means I have to be prepared to like move
a little bit. I went ahead and took the extra step today to actually kind of resize some things before they hit.
Aw, you're a little considerate today. That's cool.
A little bit.
Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Because that's not a normal Mo thing.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up. Because did you watch Raw this week?
Yes, parts of it.
Okay.
I'm not going to confirm that I watched all of it because I 100% fell asleep at some point.
That's understandable. No, nobody's going to hold that against you.
Yeah.
So, did you see the New Day and AJ Styles, Tori Amos? I'm trying to think of the 90s musician, Tori Amos.
Tori Amos is the 90s musician.
We're going to say Tori Omos. We're going to put that in there. So, did you see that promo, the back and forth between them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the big theme about that one was friendship, knowing your tag partner, right?
Yes.
You and I have been partnering on this show for 15 years.
Yeah.
I want to see how well we know each other.
Oh, good God. Okay.
So this is another quiz.
Okay.
But it's not like a music quiz. This is personal.
Yeah, I know.
This is important.
This has more stakes than the music quiz does.
It really does. It really does. But we're going to use the same questions that the New Day asked AJ and Omos in the ring.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So, and I have all the answers and whatnot. So we'll start one at a time. All right. Okay. Your tag partner's favorite color.
Oh. I'm going to say that Mo's favorite color is purple. I'm going to go with Joker purple.
Ballz knows. See, that's why we're tag partners right there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. That might be too much. I don't even need to guess. I know Ballz' favorite color is blue.
That's accurate. Yes.
See, right there. The screen even said so. So there we go. 1 for 1.
Yeah.
We're better than AJ and Omos right now.
That's true. Yeah.
And nobody said mauve. Nobody said mauve. And I know there are questions coming in about everything going on in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
We're going to get to as much as we can, I promise. But I need to make sure I don't need to throw him through a barbershop window first. That's all.
Are you calling me the Genetti of this group?
No. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Next one as asked on Raw this week.
Man.
Tag partner's favorite ice cream.
Oh, man. I'm not going to get this.
Probably not. So you don't pay attention to me. You're too busy trying to look for your own dessert, and I'm talking about booty. Hey, what's up, girl? You want some dessert?
Favorite ice cream. I'm gonna go with mint chocolate chip.
It would be peanut butter cup.
Damn it.
Peanut butter cup, especially if you get like the chocolate ice cream with the peanut butter swirled in. Oh,
for sure.
So good.
Yeah.
I got to wipe the drool off my face right now. Yours is a simple one again. I know you so well. Yours is vanilla.
No, mine is also actually peanut butter cup, and that's why I did not think it was yours.
That is actually incorrect. Yours is vanilla.
Mine is, that's how this works.
So the screen's right. Ballz doesn't like flavor for like anything. And you're probably thinking, oh, ha, we're exact. No.
I mean,
we're not.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But you are wrong in this fact that my favorite ice cream is peanut butter cup.
Okay, so I apologize to everybody watching this right now that he's changing his answers. He was upset that he got me wrong, so of course I had to get him wrong. It's fine. All right. Last one, as asked on Raw from our tag stars. your tag partner's favorite WWE star, and they went all time.
Oh,
so almost went Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, yeah.
Right. So who's mine?
It is. Ooh.
You're like, oh crap! Is he going to go for the serious answer, or is he going to go for the goofy answer?
You're right, because I mean, I even started to say it initially. I was like, oh, most favorite's the Boogeyman. Like that's easy. But like, are we talking like legit? Because then it could be Warrior or Macho, depending on how like accurate we're really being.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Boogeyman just
you were on the right path. You were on the right path. Randy Macho Man Savage.
Yeah.
Because the guy's so over the top, so charismatic. Oh, I love it so much.
I know, like, you just interviewed the guy who plays Macho Man on the Young Rock recently, and I know you were hyped for it. It's like I
it's
know
close I'm going to get to the Macho Man at this point. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Lanny Poffo, the genius, is still around, but but he's still not his brother.
No.
Brother.
All
right. So yours, and there's many different ways I could go with yours as well. Your favorite star. I mean, obviously you love CM Punk. Mm-hmm. He's up there.
Yeah.
Shannon Moore, you had a really big crush on for so many years.
Saying a crush is a little weird, but
X-Pac, you're a big fan of. But I think anybody that's ever watched the show, if you're a longtime Low Blow follower, then you know Ballz' favorite star is Heath Slater.
Heath Slater. I'm like, I know this is going to be Heath Slater. Like, it's just.
Yeah, I know it was Heath Slater too.
Yeah, I know.
If you had a second pick, who would it be?
Second pick, right below Heath, would be like CM Punk. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, all right, we can remain a tag team. Nobody has to turn heel this show. Next week, we'll see what happens.
Next week.
But for now, we're good.
We're good. All right.
Jason says he shares a birthday with Shannon Moore. And Triple H.
But more importantly, the book of Dilly Gaff carrier Shannon Moore.
And I love that we got people here. Missed opportunity to use Scoop. There it is. Scoop. There it is. Sprinkles. Yeah. It's great commercial.
It is fantastic.
Great commercial. Everybody plays their role so well, including the teenage daughter that's like, nope, I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we got people. So in the description, we talked about the Great Khali, and we will get to the Great Khali and justification. And people are passionate about this topic, either for or against him being in. So we'll be all right. I share a birthday with Kenny G. Beat that.
I can't. I don't even remember if I share a birthday with anybody.
Of course you do.
Well, I'm sure I do.
Everybody does.
I'm sure I do. I don't know that I've ever. I'm sure I've looked it up. I don't know.
All right. I'm going to type in your birthday.
Ooh, okay.
You're one of the few people I actually know.
Ooh.
All right. Here's the birthdays on that day.
Okay.
All right. Andrew Garfield.
Spider-Man.
Demi Lovato. Pretty Boy Fredo. That's all one word, by the way.
Oh, good.
Misha Collins.
Nice.
Amy Adams. Lois Lane.
Okay.
Robert Plant. Legendary Led Zeppelin there. A guy named Ha Ha.
All right.
And you did share a birthday with Dimebag.
I think I remember that. That I do remember.
Al Roker. Oh, I knew there was a big one. I'm like, I kept thinking there was somebody who was missing. Obviously. Fred Durst.
Oh, in that case.
I wish it was red.
Right?
Wish it was red. In the wrestling world, I share a birthday with Chris Masters.
Yeah.
And in just general life, some would say Elvis is a big one. Some would say David Bowie's a big one. That's fine and good. I share a birthday with R. Kelly, who likes to pee on people.
It is the remix to Ignition. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. All right. There's birthday talk out of the way. All right. So I got 6 things on my mind, and they're all going to be visuals here to kind of help us out. So you may have to get ready to scoop.
Got it.
We're going to start. There's actually 2 in a row with this topic, but we're going to start with this one because I feel like we need to be the champions of this cause. We even talked about it last week, but I feel like this is going to be something we need to talk about every week.
All right, let's do it.
Just by saying, I actually find this meme funny, but some people are taking it too far.
Oh.
All right, so stop slapping your legs. It's too realistic. And then WWE shows a picture of burnt, Kentucky fried Bray Wyatt. So
yeah.
So I get the point of it. I think it's funny.
Yes.
But there are people that are taking, I don't get it. Blah, blah, blah. And people really upset about the leg slapping thing, which one, I don't really get. Who cares? Yeah. And two, they haven't banned the slapping of legs. They just thought too many people were doing it too recklessly. So unless you know how to hide it, you got to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're going to have to start mentioning this every week until it starts getting through people's heads.
Yeah. I mean, it does look awkward. If you get caught on camera, just like, it looks weird. And I 100% understand why you're doing it, because you're trying to show force or not show, but give the impression of force and momentum and a kick.
I'm also curious if there is a little bit of AEW influence behind that with super kick parties. Maybe they're trying to say, okay, reel those moves back in a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't need a whole new generation coming up and doing that.
All they do is kick. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like we need to champion that. Like every week, bring this up until people get it.
I don't know.
All right, but we're gonna stick with the Fiend real quick.
Okay.
This I've only seen it like once or twice, but I love this conspiracy theory.
Okay.
There's a rumor going around that the burnt Fiend is actually Bo Dallas, and it's all just a mind game to get into Orton's head, and the real Fiend will be back at WrestleMania.
I mean, that'd be great for Bo Dallas to actually do something. Like, yeah, why not? That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah,
it's great. I love the idea. I don't think it's happening, but I love the idea.
I don't know. Like, did they really put that much thought into it? I have no idea. Like, but I love the idea of burnt Fiend like there, and then Orton turns around and there's like regular original Fiend, and you're just like, what the hell? And
I mean, I like the extra crispy. It's like the extra crispy kernel that we got for a little bit, in the commercials. I mean, so Bo and Fiend, when side by side, and you just look at their facial features and the structure, look very similar. So they could try to pull that off. And the only thing I think that would really support this is the rest of the Fiend's outfit that we're not seeing here on screen right now.
And that's what I was going to bring up. The fact that it is full body. Like you don't see his arms. You can't see tattoos. It is full body and dark. So you could cover it being Bo Dallas. But the fact
and it is a little cheap. I'm like, I hate to say it because people put effort into it. I love the mask. I love how burnt it looks. The rest of the outfit kind of looks like a charred, like the Party City warehouse caught on fire. And that's what they were able to pull out. And they're like, hey, wear this.
Wear this. Yeah. No, I get
free. It doesn't cost you anything. Wear this.
Yeah.
It's like something that Mankind was pitched 20 years ago. And he's like, nah, no thanks, man.
No, I'd rather wear this burlap sack.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think it's a deep dive. I think it's probably too much of a deep dive because even if it is Bo and not the Fiend, what kind of reaction are you going to get?
And more importantly, if it is Bo, are we ever going to find out that it's Bo?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
He could just be playing a burnt Fiend, and you see two Fiends in the ring. And then obviously the internet finds out later, confirmation, oh, it was Bo Dallas. But storyline wise, we never know that Fiend is Bo Dallas. Like, I don't know.
I would love for Bo to be back on TV, to be used again. Working with families, probably one of the best ideas that you can get since you're not trying a singles run with him anymore. So, and his other partner's long gone. So I would like to see something there. But third thing going on right now, and this is a little bit harder to read unless you're right close to the screen. But if this is true, Sheamus tapped out for the very first time on Raw this week, and the announcers glossed over
it. The issue with that is I don't know that there's anyone, and this is probably one of those things where the internet pays more attention than the people in the actual company. Do you think anyone in the company knew? Maybe Sheamus knew, but
maybe. I mean, they have statisticians. They have the people that are crunching numbers. So they do give us this did you know and those facts throughout the course of the shows.
Yeah.
So they give us that. A lot of it's just more social numbers nowadays. But they have done that in the past. Like when Kurt Angle finally tapped out, not just lost, but when he tapped out, when Undertaker tapped out for the first time, which was against Kurt Angle, like they knew these things.
Yes. But those guys aren't Sheamus. Do you think they... I can get you out here, but Sheamus, Undertaker, Kurt Angle at that point in their career, Sheamus. Like, are they paying attention to Sheamus's, not only his win-loss record, but has Sheamus ever tapped out? I don't know that they have that.
Right.
They care.
And like I said, I don't know if it's true. I can't remember a time he tapped out, but again, that's not something I think about. But I just hope, though, if that is the case, they continue on with it, because at least let Lashley brag about it.
Yes. I feel like it's going to be one of those things that the internet's going to point out, and then someone's going to go, oh, we need to add that. Like that's a good little spice we need to throw into something, and Lashley can bring it up on his own. Yeah, totally.
And to me, that's the way it should be. At least let him live it up, or even go somewhere with Sheamus on it. Like he never thought this day would come. He spirals out of control.
Yep.
I don't know. We got a comment here. Fake Fiend is about as realistic as a fake Undertaker.
Oh yeah, no, I believe me. Oh,
but they tried it. They did it.
Yeah. And are we going to try to acknowledge that there's anything realistic about the Fiend in general? Like,
there's also that fundamental issue for sure.
Yeah, so like, same thing with fake Undertaker. We all kind of knew, but like I said,
And then there's, of course, Jason here says I wouldn't be shocked because there is a rumor going on that Bo could be joining his brother, but that rumor's been around for years.
It was before Alexa Bliss did.
Yeah. And I also saw another rumor. I didn't include this in here, but Alexa is now more powerful than the Fiend, and the Fiend, his goal is going to be to kill Alexa after WrestleMania. Not right now, but that's where they're going. And I'm like, maybe seems a little much.
Seems a little much. Yeah. No, I mean, could be entertaining. I like Alexa's already all powerful to me, so. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and I don't even have to bring up any of the, fun pin that she had this week or anything. Any thoughts on that other than you beat the internet to, I wish she'd pin me like that.
Oh, God, within seconds. Man, I wish she'd pin me like that. Yeah, no. How do you not have that photo? But I think it's like the most, yes, it was risque, but she was like, a foot lower on his body. Way more risque. Anywhere higher on his body, way more risque. It was like the safest part to pin like that. And Orton's wife still reacted like, you better watch. And I'm like,
was it the safest part? I mean, is that really more risque or less risque than the other spots you just said? I don't think
stomach,
so.
I think, was probably the outer.
You're just trying to justify why she touched his crotch and not yours.
She didn't touch his crotch, though. She touched his stomach. She pinned his stomach. She didn't pin me lower.
I'm sorry, everybody. My tag team partner's in denial. I'm so sorry, guys.
All right. You obviously have not seen the picture, but all right.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up the picture real quick. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Save image. Now I'm not going to take the time to resize. Oh, of course. Of course, it's a stupid thing. All right, I don't care. I'm just going to share screen then. Let's do it that way.
Okay.
All right. Share screen. Chrome tab.
Boom. He's only going through this trouble because he feels like he can prove me wrong, right?
Because, yeah. Let's see. Can I open a new tab?
I don't know. Our golden ticket awaits, though.
All right, here we go. I'm going to open it again. Here we go. All right. I mean, the front of her skirt is on his stomach, yes, but her booty is by the genitals.
See, to me, that looks way higher up on his stomach than that. But
I mean, you could kind of see, like, right here, it looks like there's a little bit of his trunkage, right?
Yeah.
All right. So where's her butt then? Around here somewhere. I mean, obviously, Bo Dallas creeping in the background there.
That's true.
Yeah, well, at least we got a shot of the outfit now.
That's true. Yeah.
The Mudman.
Mudman.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's his trunk, so he's probably got little Orton, the little RKO around here, right?
Yes, probably.
Okay, and where's her butt at?
Probably
in general midsection around there somewhere, right?
Out there.
Okay, and his little RKO's here, but they're not touching that. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that she had to break your heart like that.
She did.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nathan says, I don't think they're going to do away with evil Alexa until she uses her powers to take the women's title from Asuka, which I was thinking that as well. I don't know, although I'm kind of thinking Rhea Ripley's probably going to win the belt.
I think Rhea Ripley's winning. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens there. All right. So this is something lighthearted.
Ooh.
So I do something, I use show prep services, and Ballz, you know what I'm talking about there. But for the radio show, you can trade out services. So you'll run some barter commercials, some national spots for a service that then helps supply some material each and every single morning. So this way you're not scrambling to look everywhere on the internet.
Yep.
And so with that, the show prep still does what's on TV. Such an outdated thing where everybody's like, here's what's going on. Here's your midday talk shows and here's your late night. Like, I don't know why they care so much, but they do. Like, it's so old school.
Because
it's easy to give you all these stuff.
Easy content filler for them to give you.
But I like that the wrestling stuff is being acknowledged.
Oh, okay, cool.
However, the person that wrote this or grabbed the description seems to like one product more than the other one.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, read through the All Elite one there.
All Elite Wrestling Dynamite on TNT. Matt Sydal faces Kenny Omega to earn a world title shot. Darby Allin defends his TNT title again versus Dark Order's John Silver. Debut of MJF's stable, The Pinnacle, as FTR and Sean Spears face Varsity Blondes in Dante Martin, Nyla Rose versus Taya Conti.
All right, and then there was something in between. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
And then WWE NXT on USA. Go ahead and read that one for us.
WWE's hottest up-and-coming superstars compete to prove that they've got what it takes. More than just evolution, it's a revolution. The entertainers, the leading men and women, the WWE superstars of tomorrow.
One of these descriptions is not like the other.
No, one is specific. One is super generic for an NXT show.
Like, I don't get much hope that they're actually wrestling fans or whoever wrote this really is a wrestling fan. But seriously, like, NXT had some announced matches.
Yeah, but here's what I'm wondering, and this is just me playing devil's advocate. I wonder if that's that sounds like a supplied description from WWE, where it can be used. It's a blanket description for every episode of NXT ever, and this is what you use, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
AEW, maybe they.
So the show prep, by the way, for everybody that's not aware, is updated daily. Yeah. So it's not, once a week, that's it. Because I could understand that's the case because there's nothing announced for NXT typically more than a day in advance. And well, actually, NXT's all right about it. But, and obviously AEW always announces pretty much everything, every match on the show anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them there, but just
it's
laziness.
Funny.
Laziness.
It's funny. Yeah.
That's what that is.
Totally. I mean, Sean Spears the Varsity Blondes got mentioned.
Right.
And like NXT couldn't mention anybody.
No Adam Cole, baby.
No,
nothing.
Nothing. No Finn Balor, nothing going on there.
Although I do still like that. I think the Comcast description, the Xfinity description for Raw still has Todd Phillips and Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
And that's like how the description starts. So you should probably refresh that.
Yeah. Someone should be like, hey.
And don't start with Tom Phillips either. But anyway, that's
never do that. All
right. Now it's time to get to the discussion.
Ooh, okay.
The heat, the fire, the Great Khali.
I was going to say, you're using those words, but you're not going to go with the one that it makes sense.
I'm not going to go with Kane. I think we all agree he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Yes. I love that they did it on the bump when The Undertaker surprised him. I love that Kane was surprised. And Kane's even like, is this real?
Yeah. Like, are you trolling me?
Yeah. Like, even he was afraid to react. And so I loved that. But then you got the Great Khali. And in the description, I said we would try to justify his inclusion. And there was people he earned it. He blah, blah, blah. So there's people defending him. Yes. And of course, there's the part of the internet that is against this. So right here, this is a long ass thing here.
Yeah.
He opens the door to a giant Middle Eastern market that they've been dabbling in. I'm going to keep it there. But you're not wrong. I'm not trying to cut you off, David. I'm just saying you had a lot of material there. But you're right.
And I'll be honest, like that's the whole thing I wrote down. Well, I was like, no matter what we say, no matter what we agree with, the Hall of Fame is a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Khali being inducted into the Hall of Fame is a straight up business move for NXT India, for all these things. Like, that's why. I mean, and wrestling wise, we could say, hey, he brought us Punjabi prison. Like he is a former champion. Like, so there are aspects of it where you go, all right, like he might not be my favorite Hall of Fame inductee, but could we agree that everyone who wins the world title should probably get in the Hall of Fame?
Maybe. I mean, that's at least a good argument.
I mean, that's the like bare minimum, I think, prerequisite. And there's a bunch of non-champions in the Hall of Fame.
That's also true. So I came across this graphic defending it and talking about career achievements. So the first Indian to hold a championship in WWE. And something that Mike put on our Facebook page at Wrestling Audio earlier in response to the announcement of this show, that he is an inspiration to thousands, millions. Of fans in India.
Yes.
That is a bit more influential than when we realize.
It absolutely is. And it's one of those things where we just don't get it. Like,
yeah.
And like, it doesn't seem as big a deal to us, but you and I are also 40-year-old white guys.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is, we grew up as young, impressionable white kids. We got to see there was white people winning, WWF championships and Hulk Hogan and all of those guys. We got to see professional sports athletes that were Caucasian. Like we got to see the most famous actors in the world, Caucasian. It's like we grew up with that, so it was no big deal to us. But there are other backgrounds that never had that, and there have been Indian stars, but as like this graphic points out, the first to hold a championship in the world's biggest company.
Yes, absolutely.
That is going to speak volumes to the young kid that now thinks, oh, I can make this happen. I can be anything I want to be. And it sounds cheesy or cliche, but it's true.
It's very true. That's the thing. It absolutely is true.
Somebody that looks like them, somebody that talks like them can also be a big inspiration to them. So that's something that we're not going to get. And I hate to say it, the majority of people I see trashing this inclusion are the angry white people on the internet.
Yeah.
Not everybody. There's always exceptions, of course.
For sure.
I'm not mad, not everybody.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are upset because they're looking at just his in-ring ability.
Just his,
or his promo ability.
Was his finishing move a karate chop? Yes.
Yeah, I mean.
Did he have a weird storyline where he was like special friends with like Natty Neidhart? Yes.
Yeah, but like Kane had a special relationship with the dead body.
That's also true.
And
he's a Hall of Famer too.
Now, the one thing I don't like about this graphic is destroyed Undertaker on his first night in WWE.
His first night in WWE.
Like, I like really small. Destroying the Undertaker is not the bar to be in the Hall. I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're trying to pad this resume. I get that. And then a pay-per-view win over the Undertaker. And there's been a lot of people that have done that too.
Yeah.
So again, not the bar, especially since Undertaker's not in the Hall of Fame.
That's accurate. Yeah.
And then, of course, owner of his own wrestling school in India. There's a lot of talk that NXT will be opening up the India branch. I mean, and Khali will be a major force behind that.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. It's, again, like you said, it's not my favorite inclusion.
No. I mean, without the Great Khali, would we have Jinder Mahal? Like, I mean.
Well, thanks a lot, Great Khali.
Like, it's well documented. I'm not a Jinder Mahal fan, but I understand his importance.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So while like the Great Khali, believe me, I was one of those people that scoffed when this came up, and I went, really? And then I thought about it and went, all right.
I also think the timing was odd because you had just announced Kane a couple hours prior.
And it depends which one you saw first. Like I saw Khali's announcement before I saw Kane's.
Well, the thing is, so that would have been leaked on Wikipedia, and so people started taking that as the announcement. WWE did not announce it until about 8 hours later.
Oh, okay.
Kane was in the morning. Kane was like 10:30 Central Time or 10 a.m. Central Time, around there somewhere. And Khali was not till late afternoon. But somebody had checked that Wikipedia page, and Khali was listed, so people were like, oh, Khali's in the Hall of Fame. And so they both broke around the same time, but only one was confirmed.
Who the hell updates a Wikipedia page?
Well, really, anybody can.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, really, like, why is WWE on top of that? Like,
and whoever did that, at least they got it right. Unlike all the Daniel Bryan stuff, because the little show preview on I don't know if it was Peacock that was on there that said Peacock, WWE Hall of Famer Daniel Bryan. So everybody's like, yes. Yeah.
That is also now why the Peacock is hiring like 4 WWE people, which I was going to tell you about, but it's based in New York. So unless you haven't seen it.
All right, I'm going to start walking.
More like you have to start like packing 700 wrestling figures for the trip to New York.
I've already paid for the next month, so I'm just going to leave it here for a little bit. Yeah,
go, interview and come back.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have any animals or pets right now to look over. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I'm okay with it. I'm not excited about it, but if Coco Beware made the Hall of Fame, I mean, Coco Beware, better wrestler, yes, but like, and I see all these other people argue, like, why isn't this guy in there? Why isn't this guy in there? And I'm like, I don't know. And I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people when I say this. People are like, Brian Pillman should be in there. I'm like, Brian Pillman is great and influential, but if you're going to argue influence as a reason why he should be in the Hall of Fame, the largest nation in the entire world is influenced by the guy you don't want in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely accurate. Yes.
So, I don't know. I get you. There's going to be no right or wrong until WWE puts some sort of official fine print attached to this.
And there will never, ever be that.
I don't know if I'd say never.
Because the second they do, they'll break it the next year.
I won't say never. I think they're going to, at one point, try or at least use that as an excuse to start maybe narrowing down classes. Because also when you induct six,
cards subject to change, and you're like,
you do 6, 7, 8 people per class, you're going to start stretching. I mean, eventually Todd Grisham and the coach are going to be inducted as this legendary announce team.
Yes. Cash machine and the coach.
Yeah, well, he says, I say Undertaker joins the 2021 class. I think they're hoping to get more fans back.
No. Yeah, he's not going to join until there's fans in the building. I would say 2022 probably.
Yeah. And I think he's going to be the leader of that discussion.
For sure.
That class there. So
which
last thing I have.
And while we're talking about the Hall of Fame though, Batista about basically resigning himself from the Hall of Fame to be inducted at a later date. All because he can't make the induction this year. I think that's super interesting. I mean, and I thought it was a WWE thing, but it actually is a Batista thing where he asked them to postpone. It's like where I initially was like, well, why don't they just film it on location? If I assume he's down in Australia filming Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right. Or was anyway.
Or whatever it is. Just send a crew, have him do something taped, and show it. But no, it sounds more like Batista wants to be in person with someone to thank them and to thank the crowd and to thank the superstars.
And we also have to keep in mind, he was a part of last year's class.
Yes, he should have been in last year,
Where if that schedule had been maintained, he probably could have made that date.
Yep.
But with it being pushed back, he had to move on. He has to make his money. He's a star in Hollywood.
Yeah.
WWE likes it or not. So I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm all right there.
I'm okay with it too. It was just an interesting
Yeah.
thing. You know, it's just a situation, especially you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's already going to be awkward trying to get, here's your 2020 class and here's your 2021. I'm like,
yeah.
How do you celebrate and embrace them? So
Yeah.
maybe having one or two less people's okay.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Last thing I got is something that actually you brought to my attention right as it was breaking.
Yeah.
We've been hearing about NXT moving to Tuesdays after WrestleMania. It's looking more and more like that's going to happen. And there's a lot of speculation around why that is. But we got an official move today with Impact moving off of Tuesday back onto Thursdays. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. Impact going to their traditional Thursday night at 8 p.m. time slot. Which is funny because, I mean, in the history of Impact, that's basically where they've been. Yes, they've bounced around everywhere.
Yeah.
But
then also keep my SmackDown started on Thursdays.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, Thunder was on Thursdays at one point, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes.
I mean, I know it was also Wednesdays, but
Yeah.
A lot of shows bounce. We'll say that.
Sure.
So I mean, it is more of a standard spot, but now they have Thursday night football to contend with. But somebody's got to take that spot. Would you much rather lose your audience to real sports fans, or do you want to lose it to another wrestling company?
Yeah, I think you're either dividing a pro wrestling audience in half, or however it would break apart, or you're losing the same that may also like sports. So
right. So I mean, I'm all right with the move. I hope they stay there for a while just to get that audience, hopefully, and let people know, because that's the thing. If you start bouncing around shows too much, which Impact has done, and networks, good God, it's hard to know and maintain that audience and want to continue, because as soon as you get invested, I'm going to have to start watching a different day.
Yep.
Or the DVR or whatever the case is. So that moves. Let's talk about NXT. Why are they moving? If this is true, why is NXT moving to Tuesdays?
Because they scared. No, I don't think so. No.
That's what a lot of people think, though.
No, I think it is. And that's what people would think. But from what I understand and from what I've heard, it's based on conflicts with major sports.
Yeah.
And that's, and as we just said, dividing your audience with Thursday football. WWE, well, yes, you probably don't want to compete with AEW if you have the option. And I don't even remember is it hockey?
Yep.
I think it's hockey that they're going to have to compete with. And I don't know how much crossover is there between pro wrestling fans and hockey, but there's fights. So I'm going to go with it's a decent amount.
So I don't think it's a competition. So I think this move is a part of the whole shuffling with the NBC family, hence Peacock and the whole network moving over there. So they're in that family now, and they're going to have to deal with this stuff. With that said, hockey, as of a week or so ago, had not settled all of their TV rights for the next season, not the current one, but the next season. So ESPN has 25 total national games, and that's not a lot in that season.
No, it doesn't sound like a lot.
That's like a fourth of the season maybe on TV. So there's a lot of coverage out there still to be claimed. And there had been talks that NBC was going to do it, which means the USA Network would have Wednesday night hockey.
Yeah.
So it's either we preempt NXT on a week-to-week basis or just move NXT.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's an AEW thing like the internet loves to do. Like, we're all craving the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars to come back.
They're so yeah. But no, I think it's a business move. I think will both shows benefit not competing against each other? Yes.
And so I mean, that's the thing. He says hockey's moving to ESPN. That's not the whole season, though.
Yeah.
And then on here, rumor is USA, NBC want hockey.
Yep.
It's one of the cheaper sports you can get, but you get ratings behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the biggest ratings are going to be NFL, but that's also the most money you're going to be spending. So, it'll be interesting. I really don't think AEW's in there. If you want to believe it, fine. You want to believe the leg slaps are completely banned? Go ahead. I don't care. I mean, I'll care again next week, but right now I don't care.
right now.
You do you, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I got right there. For all my things, it's your turn. Do a show.
Oh, do a show. All right. Andrade released. I don't believe he was released the last time we did a show. Like,
no, we knew he wanted to go.
Yeah, we knew he wanted to go, and we knew he had asked, but it was originally declined. And they have let Andrade go. I assume he has a 90-day non-compete. We don't really know.
I read somewhere that he doesn't, but that would shock me.
Like I said, I'd be shocked if he didn't have one.
We're gonna say no to you this time. We're gonna say yes now, and go ahead. Just spread your wings and fly as quickly as possible.
Your butterfly.
Yeah. Right before WrestleMania, we're gonna let you go right away. Just do what you want.
Exactly. I do find it interesting that, and I did not realize that Andrade is part of his real name. So if he wants to use Andrade, he can. Cien Almas is copyrighted by WWE, but the actual Andrade part is free to use. So that's cool. Like, that's good. I like when they don't have to shuffle their names around as much.
Right.
So, and I did see an interview with Epico, of all people, who, I don't know, I had no idea that Epico and Andrade were such good friends, but apparently Andrade had complained to Epico
right
like a week or two ago that he hates being stuck in catering, and then that's the whole reason he asked for his releases. They don't have anything for me. They don't want me to do anything. I'm just in catering all the time, which is kind of what we assumed, that it wasn't a money thing. It was a passion thing, that he wants to do stuff. So I thought that was interesting.
All right, so I'm going through the Facebook for NXT right now because this gentleman says it became official Tuesday on Facebook. And I assume he's talking about NXT here.
Yeah, I would think so.
I'm not seeing it yet, but the mobile version's different anyway, so I'll keep looking. Nathan says, rumor that Charlotte threatened to quit unless they released him. She's not going to get granted a release. That's the thing. She could threaten to quit all she wants.
Yeah.
They ain't going to let her go. It would be the same thing as Sasha Banks. You're going to give her some time off, months away, and she's already spent some time off. But this will be this is for you. This is not for recovery or Hollywood. This is for you. I'm sure she had some pull. She is powerful enough, I'm sure, to be able to have a say, but I don't think she's strong-armed anyone.
Yeah, I don't think she can make that threat, but as you said, they're not going to let her go. I'll quit. All right.
Nobody else could afford Charlotte. Well, it's maybe.
I'm pretty sure AEW has more money than McMahon does.
No, but do they have enough airtime for her? That's the story there.
That's 100%. Yes. Did they have a bloated roster? Yup. No, for sure. And did you watch?
Recently, yes. Yes, but the months prior, Casimir, she had actually gone in Hollywood filming Punky Brewster, which, trust me, I know all about that because of a certain co-host of mine having a stroke. So she was doing a lot of Hollywood stuff at that time. But yes, recently she had COVID and seems to be hopefully doing better.
Yeah, I would hope so.
All right. I don't want to purchase my tickets for WrestleMania. Get on my screen. Finally.
Have you been watching NXT? Did you see the interaction between Walter and Tommaso Ciampa?
I missed all of the Wednesday night stuff. I watched some AEW videos on demand afterwards, but I missed all of AEW stuff. Or NXT, I'm sorry. No,
it was great. Ciampa comes out, confronts Walter, basically is like, a couple weeks ago I misspoke. I said I found you interesting. I find that interesting. He points to the UK title.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be Walter versus Ciampa for the UK title at Stand and Deliver.
I did see that, which will be a great match.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. But they beat the crap out of him. What I don't get, and where am I? I don't know if I'm missing it, and you didn't watch the show either, so I don't know. They talk about, Thatcher's gone. Thatcher was, I don't know if he's just disappeared or if he was kidnapped by Imperium. I don't know. But now Killian Dane is gone, too. Because that's what led Drake Maverick challenged Walter.
I did see that, yeah.
Destroyed in, a minute. But it was supposed to be because, now they can't find Killian Dane either. And I'm like, are these? What is happening? Is Imperium just kidnapping people?
The British are coming.
The British have arrived, and they're just stealing people.
Yeah, everyone needs a hobby, right?
Yeah, I guess. Or like, I don't know if you're gonna see like Thatcher belonged to when Imperium was on the Indies as Ring Kampf. Like Thatcher was part of that. So like they alluded to some of that, and to where Thatcher may be joining them or however that's going to work. I don't think Killian Dane might have been in it, but I don't remember that being a thing. So I don't know, but it's just funny to me that it's like, all right, now this European wrestler is gone. Then you're going to see like random other European wrestlers like just vanish.
Yeah, I agree with this gentleman here. The NXT card is looking amazing.
Yep. As long as they don't overfill it and give it plenty of time, I think it'll be awesome.
And it normally always is. So, I mean, I think they'll be all right. The matches they've announced so far are good. I mean, we got, unsanctioned match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole.
Oh, man, that if you go back and catch clips, like that was a good interview segment between them. I hate how Kyle O'Reilly is dressed, but between Adam Cole and O'Reilly, like it was good.
He stands out. Like I've heard so many people dislike Kyle O'Reilly's outfits, but it stands out, and I appreciate that. It's not just a t-shirt and short trunks that make it look like they're not wearing pants.
That's true. No, totally.
And it's kind of almost like early 2000s Triple H, with some cutoffs and some.
No, yeah, it was very much like Adam Cole realizing he doesn't need Undisputed Era, and then Kyle O'Reilly arguing that he's the only one that grew into a man since they arrived. Like, you're still the same a-hole that takes advantage of people, whereas I grew and took responsibility for actions, and you're like, oh, that's a good way to do. Okay.
And so, like, Bobby Fish shows up, and he's like, what? I grew up, too. I just been on the sidelines most of it.
Right? I grew up at home.
And Roderick Strong's like, parents, mom, dad, stop fighting.
I hate it when mom and dad fight.
2 Christmases. Which, by the way, you see that child actor from Talladega Nights passed away?
I did.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. That's so sad.
Yeah.
There's I know Jessica Walters died as well, who was Lucille Bluth on Arrested Development, and of course Mama Archer on Archer and so many other projects. But
no, absolutely.
So yeah, that's gonna be a great show. I'm looking forward to that more so than WrestleMania, but that's no surprise.
No, totally, absolutely.
I'm curious to see how the fans are going to be, though, getting fans back into action. So,
do you think they're going to do fans for Stand and Deliver any more than they do now?
I think probably a little bit more. I think they'll try to cram a few more people in, or expand the space to get a little bit more. Not going to be like WrestleMania, of course, but
have they said if Stand and Deliver is in the CWC or if it's going to be somewhere else? I don't know if they've said or not. I'm just curious. Then that can kind of answer our question of if they can fit more people or not.
Where will NXT Stand and Deliver be held?
If we've learned one thing from this show, is this never works.
Well, you got to be that guy. See, I thought we were partners here.
We are, but you're.
Okay, so according to Wikipedia, which again, as we said before, anybody can really edit that if need be, that they have not announced a venue yet.
Okay.
So they probably want a bigger place, but
probably. They just haven't figured out what they can do and anything yet. Okay.
And I do give them credit. You talk about overbooking. It's a 2-day event.
Yeah.
So it's harder to overbook a 2-day event.
For sure.
I mean, the main roster does it, but NXT will be just fine.
But the first night is on USA, so you would assume you're still in the constraints of 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The second night, where it's on Peacock, you can go over that. You can do whatever you want at that point.
Are we going to record that night, or are we going to watch Stand and Deliver instead?
That's a good question.
We should probably think about that.
Yeah, we're going to record while we watch Stand and Deliver.
Thunderdome. Yeah. We'll see what happens there. Anything else going on in your world?
Yeah, so as of tomorrow, this show recorded on a Thursday night. Friday, AEW is going to show off some reveals for Wave 6 of their line of unrivaled action figures. That is Hikaru Shida, a new Pentagon, a new Phoenix, a new MJF, a new Jericho, and the debut of Jake Hager.
Okay.
So what I want to ask you, and I'll go over who's already been done as figures, but who's your must-have? Who needs to be Wave 7?
Johnny Cisco, longtime wrestling audio listener supporter, stopping by just in time for the Toy Talk.
Just in time for the AEW Toy Talk.
Mr. Major Wrestling Figure Guy himself over there.
Right? Wave 1.
Zack Ryder's new best friend. Yeah, good for him. That's awesome.
Wave 1 for AEW were the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Chris Jericho, and Brandy Rhodes. Wave 2 was Moxley, Penta, Phoenix, Hangman, Dustin Rhodes, and MJF. 3 was Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Pac, Riho, and the Young Bucks again. 4 was Omega, Cody Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Matt Hardy, Santana, and Ortiz. And then 5 is another Moxley, Scorpio Sky, Kaz, Hangman, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy. So there's a pretty robust portion of the roster that's already been done. Yes, they're only on like their 3rd female figure, and we do need. I'd love to see some. So Dark Order, absolutely.
And Britt of all people, she's obviously your star in that division. You need to. Britt
is the running joke, though. Like I love the social content that comes from Britt not getting announced from a figure. Last time when they announced Wave 5, they trolled Britt by showing a fake Britt figure. Yes. So I'm gonna go with if they do Sting quick enough, absolutely. Do you think
if they do Sting quick enough? What, you think he's just gonna bounce? He's like, okay, guys, I'm out. I gotta go to Impact again.
No. I mean,
I gotta go to Ring of Honor next.
We all you and I both buy wrestling figures. We know that there's normally. Why
would you assume that?
I'm profiling.
Okay, that's fair.
I have some evidence, but I'm profiling. It takes about a year to turn around a figure like that.
Well, at least for Mattel, about 11 months.
Yeah, and maybe Jazzwares is doing it faster, but that's normally the rule of thumb I go with. And Sting, okay, he hasn't been there a year to get this stuff, filmed and recorded, and the sculpting and all that stuff done for you to, start teasing a Wave 7 Sting figure. I think he's coming soon, but I don't know if he'll be the next wave they announce.
Right.
The one thing I will say, I love what they're doing, and people are arguing, another Kenny Omega, another Moxley, another. Yes, there's 2, and one should come with a horse and a bottle of whiskey. Yes.
They haven't done any rides yet. They haven't done any vehicles yet. But when they do.
Yeah, when they do, if you're going to get.
That's what I do.
You're going to get Matt Hardy with a golf cart, and you're going to get. Which one? Yeah. Sammy Guevara with a golf cart would be great because he bounced off of it.
Yeah, if he's underneath it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a 2-pack golf cart, Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara. And then Hangman with a horse. And then the whole Dark Order with lawnmowers, because that's a thing that I see.
Of course.
I love the fact they're redoing figures over and over again. Cody's had 7. Omega, Mox, Hangman, Penta, Phoenix.
Well, and what's the reasoning behind that?
I feel there are 2 reasons behind it. One, Series 1 and Series 2 the distribution was not good. They were Walmart exclusive. It just didn't go well.
If I hadn't pre-ordered Series 2, the ones I wanted online, I would never gotten them because I never saw them in stores. I at least saw Series 1, but not 2.
And so I do feel part of that is a acknowledgement of, hey, we need to keep these guys around. But also, in toy lines, you have evergreen figures. You should always be able to find your headliners. You should always be able to just, if we're equating it to Marvel or Star Wars, you should always be able to find a Captain America figure, a Spider-Man. A grandmother should always be able to go to a toy aisle and find that type of figure for her kid. So AEW, the equivalent would be always having a Cody Rhodes available, a Kenny Omega,
Young Bucks,
these guys. So I love the fact that every couple waves they're redoing a couple of them, and a lot of them change attires enough that it's fine and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So what would your, I mean, obviously you don't have to fill a whole wave of 6 people unless you want to bust that out. Like, what would you do for an upcoming wave 7? Like,
I was just about to say this, and this message comes in, Brody Lee.
Yeah.
And he probably had enough time to really kind of start getting that process going.
Yeah.
So I think that announcement will be huge. I think there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of interest in that one. I think Brody Lee is going to be great. And maybe that's when you do introduce not all of the Dark Order, of course, but a member or probably one other member at this point.
Probably one of them.
If you're only getting 6 per line, typically, you don't want to take half of them for one faction.
No, especially, I agree.
Brody with the TNT title would be great.
Yes.
Maybe not. I could also see there being an Exalted One, like exclusive, like a ringside exclusive with the full getup.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. If you did Brody, do you do the tux or like the suit, or do you do the full cloak, the white and purple?
I think you do both, but one of them becomes an exclusive.
Yeah.
So maybe the cloak is general retail, and then the suit is I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think he needs one
for sure.
I'm trying to think like who else has been there long enough to possibly
I think like mine, you have Kaz.
I mean, has it been enough time for FTR?
Maybe. I mean, as quick as they're turning stuff around, possibly.
And I know you were saying something, so I apologize for interrupting, but I'm just kind of thinking of other names. Like, do you go for the old school Jake the Snake? Do you go for these old school guys that maybe aren't wrestling, but Jake the Snake's a name?
But do you do them as current Jake, or do you do like a classic Jake?
They may not have rights to classic unless you're going to go more independence or some sort of defunct organization. I say you go current with them and just, make it realistic. So you have these guys next to their stars. I mean, a Brian Cage is going to do well. Yeah. But I don't think we're quite ready for that one yet.
No. And what I was saying was in wave 5, you have Scorpio Sky and Kaz. You need a Christopher Daniels.
Yeah. No, that is a good one. That's a good one. Christopher Daniels makes sense.
He's been down since day 1. So like, I feel like he's a guy.
That's not a bad idea. Anna Jay,
like if you can't decide, number one, it gets you another female. And if you can't decide which Dark Order person to put, because a lot of the other Dark Order guys are tag teams. So maybe removing one and only doing one of them is weird, but doing Brody Lee with Anna Jay makes sense.
Right.
Totally.
And Nate says here, Sean Spears, QT Marshall 2-pack. I could see Spears getting one, though.
I could see Spears getting one, too. That would be the least selling 2-pack of all time.
Nah, I don't know if all time, but
no, maybe not of all time.
I do have the Adam Rose and Bunny 2-pack on my wall over here.
That was purchased just for sheer, oh my God, they made a bunny.
And I also have the We LC 2-pack.
That's El Cerrito and Hornswoggle, right?
Yeah, and not like Leprechaun Hornswoggle. That.
Oh yeah, that's 3-man band Hornswoggle, isn't it?
Yeah, like AJ Styles look before he was an AJ Styles imposter.
Yeah. It was like the AJ Styles haircut with the
brown pants and everything. Yeah. What about FTR? Have they been around long enough? Do you think that?
I think they could. If they're not wave 7, I think they're probably like a wave 8 for sure.
The wave 7 though still needs some heavy hitters.
And you've recycled these other guys enough that I don't know.
I would never do such a thing.
The greatest pre-show match ever.
Yeah, I would never do such a thing. Calm your tits, all right?
Like I don't know if you like Miro. I'd say Miro.
Oh, Miro would be great. Is it too soon for Miro?
I don't know. And that's where do you do Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford? Like they've been there since the beginning.
But so there's a lot of stars still left to be made, which is great. I love that. But we still need some headliners. We still need some main eventers. So is this going to be another Moxley already?
Yeah. I mean,
do we get new badass Kenny Omega? Because that's more of a clothing swap than anything else.
It is. I could see you doing an Omega. Like, and here's what I want to know. Like, I want to know, the Forbidden Door's been cracked open. Can we get a Good Brothers set?
Makes you wonder. Impact, to my knowledge, has no deal right now.
They have no toy line. And I like the Tully and Arn for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I think there is potential with the classic stars.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Christian, Paul White, those guys will get stuff down the line.
Absolutely.
Too soon for them now, but you still have these other legends that are ready to go. Get an updated Taz figure and just I don't know. Give me Excalibur, goddammit. Maybe Tony Schiavone gets a new one.
Maybe. I mean, at some point, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
that's no. You know what? I guarantee. Now I'm going to put this out here. Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone, ringside exclusive 2-pack. I think
something.
That's. I feel like that's a thing.
And last thing I got before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
How long before Tony Khan gets one?
I think it'll be a while. I don't think Tony Khan will get one.
I think Tony will be probably an exclusive.
I think he'd have to be, but he's literally. I don't even know if he's not counting the Brody Lee show. Has he even been on Dynamite?
I think so.
He's been on Dark.
He's been on Dark,
on Elevation, but I don't.
But he's been on Impact a lot.
Yes, playing an amped up version of himself for sure. But
that's exactly what pro wrestling is. So,
absolutely.
But I wonder, like, once these shows start touring again, if AEW events will have exclusives.
That would be crazy.
And you can only get the Tony Khan at an AEW live event.
That'd be super interesting.
Yeah, we got Ty Conti. I mean, there are Nyla Rose.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of great choices there.
I mean, right now they're doing women figures like every other wave has a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good and bad. Like in the toy world, female figures don't sell as well, but in the wrestling figure world, the women figures do better or as good or better than your regular figures. So
yeah,
it's all up in the air.
I think it's about time Sonny Kiss gets one.
I could see that.
Again, not a headliner in that set, but you got Vicky Guerrero that could get a new one, which isn't exactly going to be one that's burning up the shelves, but so there you go. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm looking forward to seeing who the announcement is, unless it's like a 9th Cody then. Yeah. Who is the guest for nobody's booked yet. All right. So I know who we're targeting, and Devon says we can make it happen, but until it's confirmed, I'm not saying anything. But hopefully it happens, and if so, it's a good one. So that's all I can say.
So it's not me.
Otherwise, I've got Ballz booked for next week's low blow. That's about as far as I've got.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens though, because you lucked out. I didn't turn heel on you this week, but next week it's a whole new world. Take over.
Don't you